Honey is not only tasty, it is the only food made by an insect that is eaten both by humans and the insect itself. Bees are smart and practical. During the spring and summer, worker bees are busy collecting nectar and pollen so they can make stores of honey for the winter. Bees would not survive outside of the hive in the cold winter months. Sources of food are also very scarce during the winter. To produce a pound of honey, foraging honeybees have to fly a whopping 55,000 miles. That's a lot of honeybees working very hard, because each honeybee will only produce around 1/12 of a teaspoon of honey in its life. Oh, and that's despite the fact that a foraging honeybee visits up to 100 flowers per foraging trip. So no wonder it takes about 556 foraging bees to visit 2 million flowers just to make a pound of honey. Honeybees make as much honey as they can during the warmer months so that they can support the colony in the off-season. Honey is used to feed the young. New honeybees eat the nectar and pollen, so they are strong and ready to work once the springtime hits. Honey starts as flower nectar collected by bees, which gets broken down into simple sugars stored inside the honeycomb. The design of the honeycomb and constant fanning of the bees' wings causes evaporation, creating sweet liquid honey. Honey's color and flavor varies based on the nectar collected by the bees. For example, honey made from orange blossom nectar might be light in color, whereas honey from avocado or wildflowers might have a dark amber color. When the worker bee has found a good source of nectar, she gets to work. Using her proboscis, she sucks up nectar from the inside of flowers, often visiting more than 100 flowers on one foraging trip. The nectar, along with a little bit of honeybee saliva, is stored in a special sac called a honey stomach. Once the honey stomach is full, the worker bee will return to the hive to drop off the load. Some water is removed from the honey while it is passed from bee to bee. But bees use two other methods for drying out the honey. For one, they will spread the honey over the honeycomb. This process increases the surface area and allows for more water evaporation. Bees will also fan their wings near the honey to increase airflow and evaporate even more liquid. Eventually, the honey will have a water content of about 17 to 20%, down from a whopping 70%. The bees really do work for their food. The final step in the honey-making process is storage. The honey is deposited into the cells of the honeycomb, where it will stay until the bees are ready to eat it. To keep the honey fresh, each cell is capped with beeswax. Making beeswax is another fascinating process. Learn more about beeswax and how bees make it. Many of us take honey for granted. We can simply go to the store and pick up some delicious local honey to enjoy. We rarely think about all of the time that went into the production of honey. Next time you add a few drops of honey to your breakfast, toast or tea, give a little thanks to the hundreds of busy honeybees that made it all possible.